a minute. It wraps himself around the Ava, and you can hear Misato say, it's self-destructing.
Right.
And then it fucking just explodes. Boom! And then everything goes out for a little bit. And then that's when you see the actual Ava start walking away. And it's walking away at that point. And
very similar to how the angel in the first episode did when they did the
into mine.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So it's kind of like it's still there. It barely affects it, but it kind of melted some of the armor off of it.
Right.
That's when Shinji looks next to him because he's still freaking out because it's like all the lights come back on. He's like, "What the fuck?" And he looks over and he looks at the thing because the mask falls off of the Ava and it hits the ground. And he actually get to see in the reflection what he's seeing for the first time too, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
No eyes, nothing like that, right? And then all of a sudden that eyeball forms. So you know this thing is an organic thing. This is the first time you really get to see that it's actually organic in some way. That's what freaks him out too, because basically he starts screaming. He's like, "Whoa." Holy crap. What am I piloting? He has no idea.
Okay, so wait a minute. I've been here for 15 minutes now. They told me I would pilot this mech. I almost died. The mech became live and started killing the thing. And then the armor fell off and I found out that it truly was alive. Yeah, it's a bad day, dude. It's... That's a lot to process.
Yes, it is. And that would cause anybody to basically just freak out.
And I say bad day, but I feel like if that would have happened to me, I would have been like, I'm on this. I don't know, whatever.
Yes. So that's the end of the episode. Your thoughts on this episode?
I thought it was good. I'm actually enjoying the show a little more than I thought I might. I didn't come into it with like bad thoughts. I just an open mind. Yeah, the characters are developed enough that you care about them. You can feel what they're feeling, which is nice. And I take a lot of that to the way that not only the characters are written, but also like you said, the cinematography, things like that they really develop well.
Yeah,
so that's pretty cool. In 2 episodes, this is 44 minutes of a show.
Yeah, you're really only 44 minutes into something that of course there's going to be more episodes too, but they're still giving you so much in such a little amount of time.
Absolutely, and for me, not coming into it knowing nothing about it, I'm interested enough to watch the next episode, which is amazing. So that's great.
Yeah, that's always a kind of a good moniker for a good show. I really like the way that they framed the show. In the way that they, at the end of this episode, they show the battle.
Right.
So they kind of give you a little bit more backstory, and they bring you back to it.
Well, and I was going to say that I think that's another, leading back to the direction, is in the way that it's written, is that it's not giving you, here's all this at one time.
Yeah.
They're letting you process even just the character's emotion.
Mm-hmm.
For the different things that are going on before you even know the story.
Yeah, his complete not knowing what's going on.
Right.
And then getting introduced in one side of it with his father is still just like, stay the fuck away from me. I only need you. I only want you whenever I need you.
Right.
And then Misato being more of a mother type of a character, like, hey, come over. Well, you're going to live with me. It's going to be great. And she even says it too a little bit. Am I acting too much on this? Is he going to tell that I'm
going to figure it out?
Yeah, is he going to figure out?
Yeah, that line actually, I was like, what?
Yeah, it's like she's still kind of scared. She still doesn't really know. She knows a lot more, of course, because she's pretty instrumental in everything as well.
Yeah.
And she just like, hey, she's just trying so hard to get him to accept basically his fate almost.
She very much feels like his handler.
Yeah. Again, like a big sister or a mom or something like that.
Like somebody that government entity put in your life to guide you the direction they want you to go.
Yeah, it was a role that she wasn't prepared for.
Right.
Because you could definitely tell, but she automatically took over the role of being like, hey, I'm going to take care of you in some way when you're away from here.
Right.
Because you can't be alone with all of this going on. So there's a little bit in her story, too, that, she probably had to spend a lot of time alone And it's like, I don't want
We
anybody
saw,
else to do
judging
that.
from her apartment, she probably does spend a lot of
Correct,
time alone.
correct.
No wonder she took that penguin.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, she had to have a friend
Right.
almost, and she's kind of like the again, like the mother or the big sister kind of the whole deal,
Right.
which is really cool because at the very end of the episode, she really kind of comes into his room and is like, "Hey, thank you. You know, a lot of people are going to be are happy that you're doing this, so keep it up.
Right.
Good job." Which I really like that interaction between them because again, it's something that he's never had because he was young and he was too young that his mother wasn't around. So he's always had men in his life and to have this woman in his life, you know,
Right.
it's really basically kind of like he's stepping up, you know, and she has her conversations with the doctor all the time, you know, about what's going on. And you could tell that they're really good friends because she could basically hang up on her.
Yeah, she can sense. She can say whatever she wants.
Yeah. Again, whenever I was watching the show for the first time, I felt the same way you were. It was like, all right, what's next? You know,
Right.
Finally get to see a little bit of the action.
Did we skip over the part with the city, or was that?
Yeah, a little bit.
I
Yeah,
really did kind of enjoy that part, seeing how Tokyo 3 worked.
Right. Yeah, well, yeah, let's talk about that too. Yeah, we did kind of skip over the city coming up. She made it a point to take him to go see what he's defending.
Right.
Which is really cool. She
Smart.
stops at the very top and he's like, it looks kind of empty, you know? He kind of says that.
Right.
Is this really what it is? And then everything starts coming up out of the ground.
Yeah.
You know,
she's like, it's almost time or something.
Yeah, and it's built for this. This was built. The city was built to protect the people, like those people we're talking about before. You know?
Right.
It's supposed to be a big defensive city, but yet they're attacking here. I didn't think it could happen. So that's the whole city idea of being able to go underground is crazy.
Right.
Yeah, I mean they have this massive geofront underneath everything, which I think is underneath the mountains in the Rocky Mountains.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I really think there's a geofront underneath there.
Oh well.
Yeah, that's why there's so many conspiracies in Denver at the Denver airport.
Could be.
Yeah,
Could be.
We never know. We could actually be living in this world right now.
And according to those pictures that are in DIA,
I don't know.
Satan Hitler could be there. I don't know.
Yeah, there could be somebody. It's
That's
a clone. It's a boy from Brazil,
right.
like we were talking about earlier.
That's right.
Yeah, I just
thought that was cool the way that one, she gave him more of a purpose.
Yeah,
like to him.
Yeah.
More of a meaning behind what he was doing.
Yeah.
But also just how the city worked, I thought was really neat. Makes sense if you're being attacked by big giant things that you go underground.
Yeah, you go
underground. It's been happening for a long, long time, thousands of years. That's what people have done.
Yeah, they've all gone underground. Yeah, it's a natural instinct to go because they have that whole underground world under there pretty much.
Well, I mean, we all did come from the Hollow Earth.
Yeah.
So, or not.
There's this episode again is just really kind of building you up to what's coming up.
I mean, what more could you ask for an episode, though? You got to see the battle, right?
Yeah.
You got seeing her apartment, which is almost a battle,
Yeah.
You got to see a hot springs penguin.
Yeah.
I don't know what more you could ask for out of an episode. It was jam-packed with goodness.
Yeah, and now we got to basically wait for episode 3.
A whole week. Except I'm going to watch it as soon as we're done.
I know, me too. I'm probably going to watch it again just before bed. Everybody, thank you very much for listening on this one. We will get to episode 3 on the next one, of course. Questions, comments, please just direct them in any way that you can to anything that we have.
Yeah, and really enjoying the people that are making this a discussion on the different socials and YouTube and all that. That's what makes this more fun, is to be able to read those things and get other opinions.
Yes,
thoughts.
Bring in anything. I mean, I like being able to see somebody else's that's listening to what we have to say. Add to our conversation too.
Absolutely.
Now I'm looking at the series in a whole different way, instead of just basically looking at it from the story aspect of it. Now
Right.
I'm actually looking about the production of it and how they're framing everything and how they're kind of putting everything together, which is actually really cool. So I kind of want to mention the person that kind of made me pay attention to the direction of the way that the show is being filmed almost in a way and being framed. The direction and the cinematography for it. Anta Baka off of YouTube basically says you guys should pay attention to Anno's direction and cinematography. While the animation is great, and so are the character designs. I think one of the great parts, looks-wise, of the show is the weird, almost Lynchian-style camera angles, which I've never really seen in anime. It's almost shot like an art house film. That made me look at it. It made me pay attention to the way that works. I'll pay attention to more Lynchian things to look for, in his direction. But like I brought up the Greg Toland kind of stuff, I saw it from that. I saw the main characters being the ones that they look up to because they're bigger than life at that point, and then the smaller characters, the ones that are being built up, they show from an upper angle, and of course from the ceiling a lot, just like Shinji in this episode. So again, thanks for leaving that comment. Keep listening, keep dropping us lines at droppedculturepodcast@gmail.com, or go to our website, droppedculturepodcast.com. Go to our Facebook, Drop Culture Podcast, our Instagram.
Really, you can hit us up on any of the socials, and if you look up Drop Culture Podcast, you're going to find it.
Look for it, anything. Yeah. And also
we're everywhere except for SoundCloud for some reason.
Yeah, well, one of these days.
One of these days we'll get off our lazy asses and create that free account.
Yeah. And one thing that I'm doing too is with each one of the episodes, I'm doing new artwork for it.
Yeah.
So if anybody likes the artwork and want a copy of it, like on a shirt or something like that, hit me up. You can get most of my artwork stuff already on the Skeletons of Memory at Shopify.com. Look that up, and I have a lot of different designs up there, and I'm thinking really hard about putting these up for posters or something like that.
Nice.
If you like them, and then that way you can purchase something to kind of hang on your wall with the Drop Culture logo on it and some Evangelion on it. So
there you go.
From the Drop Culture Studios, I'm Brock.
And I'm Dan.
And we'll talk again next week.
Later.